Hello, and welcome back to our tutorial on the Hebrew vowels. We're in the home stretch here. There's only a few left to go, but there are some important ones, and let's get right to it. Okay, so I'm going to bring up a new page, and the first one is I, like me, myself, and I. Okay, very simple. Um, we just take the pieces that we already know what they sound like, and we're going to make something new out of them. Okay, so we got our friend Aleph there. We're going to put our friend the patach, that sounds like ah, under there. And we're just going to take this little yud guy. Oops, let's bring him over. Bring him over. Not moving. Okay, there we go. Okay, we put this yud there, which we know sounds like a y. This is called, in English, we call this a diphthong. Okay, it's basically, a diphthong is two vowel sounds that we put together to make what sounds like one sound. So this is here we've got a and y, I, I. Okay, so this is I. Okay, now there's another sound that I want to introduce you to that's a little bit confusing because it's kind of similar to this, but it's different. And this is a vowel and a consonant, okay? And it's pronounced av. Let me show you what this looks like, and then once I show you, I'm going to explain why we're even talking about a consonant right now, or something that's got a consonant sound. So we've got our aleph, we've got our kamatz, and we've got our yud, right? Okay, so based on what we just saw up here, we would expect that this is going to be pronounced I, because this is I, and we know that this vowel and this vowel are both ah, so it makes perfect sense that this should be pronounced I also. But we don't really ever usually see that unless the yud is going to have its own vowel, in which case the yud is going to have it, because it has its own vowel, it's acting like a consonant. In this construction and the ones that we've already seen, the yud is really kind of functioning as a vowel. It's kind of, we call it a helping vowel. But it doesn't always work that way. Sometimes it actually functions like a consonant. And in the case of what we're looking at right now, it's going to function as a silent letter, okay, as a silent vowel or consonant. This is av. Now we only really ever see this at the end of a word, but we see it at the end of lots of different words. So this, instead of I've, which is what a lot of my students say, you're going to pronounce this av, okay, av. This is kind of a complex one, but it's really important to learn because it happens all over the place. Okay, so you just want to get familiar with that. All right, let's do another diphthong. Let's do this time oi, oi, as in oy vey. The very same. Okay. Why would we be surprised that this vowel that we have this diphthong in Hebrew? We're not surprised. Okay, so let's bring up again our good friend Aleph. Okay, and we are going to have our Vav. And when we have our Vav, we're going to put our little dot above it, just like we did before. And how do you think we're going to make the Y sound in Oi? We're just going to take our friend Yud, and we're going to add it in there. Okay, so this is Oi, Oi. Okay. Now let's take a look at another one. Let's do Ui. I'm going to write this a little bit differently from the others. Ui. How about that? Ooey. All right. Put that over here. Get a nice alignment there. And what do you guess? What's your guess how we're going to make this? Obviously, we've got our friend Aleph. Let's bring out our good friend Vav. And how do we make the oo sound out of the Vav? Do we put it up here? No, we put it down here. Okay, so now we've got oo, and we just finish it off with the yud here. Okay, so that's ooey, ooey. Okay, now we've got one final vowel, and it's probably one of the most difficult and complicated vowels. It's difficult to pronounce, and it's difficult to know when to pronounce it. And what I mean by that is that it is either or silent. Okay? How do you have a silent vowel? How can that possibly be? Okay, well, we're going to see it in a second. All right? So it's or silent. Let's bring out our friend Aleph again. And now let's bring this guy in. This vowel is called a shva. Okay, a shva. And shva is silent, as I already explained, much of the time, but it can also be pronounced And there are a number of different times when it's going to be pronounced I don't want to get into that in this tutorial because I'm not sure. I think I want to do that in a different tutorial because it's a little bit more advanced. And I'm hoping that you're going to be, if you're not working with me as one of my students, then hopefully you're working with a cantor or a tutor who does know these things and can explain to you how to know the difference between when it's and when it's silent, because it is a very important difference that as somebody who's planning on or who's studying, hopefully, I would hope you're studying at some point to read Torah, which is the purpose for making these videos. I'm making them for my B'nai Mitzvah students. But in any case, regardless of your motivation, you do need to know that there are two different ways of saying this. It could be silent or And when I say I really mean it's more like It's more like It's the sound of when I said the sound. I don't say the sound. I don't say the sound. I say the sound. The cow, the table, the chair, the door. It's actually, I would suggest to you, probably one of the most common sounds that we have in the English language. But because it's not specifically a vowel that we're taught in school, we are not taught that this sound actually exists in standard spoken American English. But we probably use it more than any of the other vowels. See, the other vowels that we're used to. So it's just to be aware that it's okay? Now that, I think, is where I want to end this particular tutorial. I will probably do another tutorial at some point explaining the different occurrences when you pronounce this vowel versus when you don't. And by the way, when it's pronounced, it's called a shva na, which means a moving shva, versus when it's silent, it's called a shva nach, which is a resting shva. Shva nach, a resting shva. Okay, so you now have all of the Hebrew vowels. Let's just quickly review them. Okay, let me get my little pointer ready to go here. So we've got up here, we're at at all different ways of saying and there are nuances among these, but for our purposes, for the purposes of learning as quickly as possible, it's enough to know that if you've got these two eyeballs staring you in the face underneath the letter, that you're going to say okay? Here we have E. We've got this version of E and this version of E with the yud here. Of course, above here we had the A and the Okay, O, we got the dot over here, the dot above the vav, and the shva next to a kamatz, a chataf kamatz. Down here we have two different ways of saying U. We've got the kubutz and the shuruk. Then on this page we've got I, Av, Oi, and Ui. And then finally we have the shva, which is or silent. Or silent. Okay, so that is the Hebrew vowels. There is one other thing I want to show you here, though, and that is there is a great app that I found, Hebrew Alphabet, and let me just find it really, really fast. I don't think that's it. Hebrew Alphabet, is it this? It might be. I think it was 99 cents. Yes. Okay. As always, I wish I got money for pushing this. This doesn't have the vowels in it, but this is probably the best app I've come across yet for just flashcards for learning the names of the consonants, actually, which should be, I think, if you haven't already learned them, that should be your next stop. Okay. I don't think I'm going to make a tutorial about that because I think this is probably far better than anything that I could create. So in any case, that's it for the Hebrew vowels. Thanks for watching, and let me know if you like it. If you like it, I'll make some more. Okay. Thanks again. Bye.